Okay, here we go. I don't have my filmer. Nicole is at jiu-jitsu. I just got back, sweaty, dirty. But I got to get this out today, boys. We're waiting a long time for this. Got a game tomorrow. Has to be halfway through the season. We are halfway, exactly halfway through the Flaunt and Taunt inaugural 12-man league. What a fucking difference it makes. Wasn't a believer, but I do believe now that 12 is better. And that's because I look every week at my 10-team leagues, and all those points being left on the bench really sucks. Hey, Dad, close this door for me, will you? I'm doing the Flaunt video. Real quick, I'm not going to take up too much time with this video. I know you guys don't want that. But the points here are incredible. I added up all the points for each team, divided by 12. It was 873.264. Then I added up all the points against. It's the same fucking exact number. The odds of that, I mean, there's a lot smarter people in this league than me, but I think the odds of that are fucking pretty strong not to happen. And then, then I divided by the 7 games, and we're averaging, on average, it's about 124 points a game for people. This league is, anybody can win, anybody can go on a run. If you get into the playoffs, you can win. Now, I always take accountability for my fuck-ups. I fucked up. When we added 2 teams to this league, I should have added 2 more playoff spots. I didn't. Only 6 people make the playoffs. 6 out of 10, you know what I mean? That's not bad. But 6 out of 12, that's called fucking 6 people holding their dicks. And I'm sorry about that. My fault. I should have made it 8. I didn't. It's not bad for most of this league because besides Frankie and I, everybody's got a shot with these records. So anyway, let's get going. You're going to see a picture of the person when I talk about their team. Now that I've said this has never happened before as far as the close games and the points, I mean, you could take, I guess, Frankie and I out of that mix because, our records are shit. We could have played someone else and been better, but I don't play that fucking bullshit. It's just, you play who you play and you deal with what you get. So let's get right into it. After 7 weeks in 12th place, believe it or not, our defending champ, Frankie, troll name, Walls of Fame, ha ha ha, good one. You might want to change that back to last year's name, Frankie, because, change it to fucking anything at this point. It's not a bad starting team that you have, honestly. Your bench looks like you gave up 2 weeks ago, though. When I look at your bench, I see Stafford, Michael Wilson, who? Zamir White, droppable. Trey Benson, really? Honestly, not seeing a repeat here, Frankie, obviously. You haven't won yet. But like I said, solid starters, bro. Caleb proving everyone wrong. Devontae just got traded. He's back with his boy. Harrison might be a bust. And I thought he was going to be good, but Marvin Harrison Jr. might be a bust. The trade that we made when I traded you K-Will, that was nice. You got one of the better running backs in the league, and I got Tyreek. So I don't think it's going to help you, though. You have the best tight end, right, statistically, I think, is Bowers, right? But he's on a shit team. Not your team, but your team's kind of shit, too. But overall, he's on a shit team. You need to make trades, dude. You made 5 trades. That's good, but you could still. You don't want to be in last place to get your name changed next year, or maybe you do, because anything's better than what you fucking named your team. All right, so hey, we'll move on. 11th place, it's me. I'm not going to say too much. I'm usually not at the bottom of the barrel like this. Sometimes you have a nice team that scores points in the top of the league, and you still shit the bed. It happened to one of the best players I've ever played against in JJ a couple of years ago. It's no shame. I feel no shame. I got a solid team. A lot of you look at my team and probably take my team over the one you have. I'm honest with that. And I think there's way better teams than my team. Don't get me wrong here. I'm on a winning streak right now. I got one in the books, too far. But I'm not making the playoffs, let's be honest. Long story, short answer, no. Hell no. I'm basically playing like Frankie to stay out of last place. Again, taking responsibility for my mistake. If it was 8 making it, I might have had a shot. Frankie might have had a shot, but right now, we're fucked. So, anyway, I don't need to go over my team with you guys. This is more for how you're doing. I know how I'm doing. And you know how you're doing too, but I like to fucking point it out to everybody. A new member of the team in 10th place. Britton came in. He's got Rules World. It's a knockoff of Wayne's World. I like it. Good joke. I'll be honest though, I had to text him. I go, what the fuck does your team name me? He told me, so it's not like I knew that. I'm sure everybody else in the league did. For his first year, the kid comes in, he's at 3-4. He's got the MVP, the current MVP on his team and his quarterback. I think that's up for debate, I'm sure, but he's got a banged up DK. He'll be back. He's solid. I think Pickens is one of the most talented players in receivers in football right now. He's a total freak. And now if Russ is really going to, if Russ is going to cook, right, he's going to be solid. Aaron Jones hasn't hit his stride yet. He's had a couple games where he's shown flashes. I think that, his talent is there. But, again, the team he's on is not featuring him that much. JT. He's also got JT. He kind of fucked him a little bit. That whole team, that whole coach team, I'm not going to get into how they're jinxed from Deflategate, but they're fucking jinxed from Deflategate. Let's just face it. They've been shit since. They've had a few fucking nice things happen, but they're awful. They're always going to be awful for the rest of their lives. What I can say for Britt, I would say you need to do a few more trades because your bench needs some work. You've shown that you trade. You've made the raffle. Frankie also made the raffle. I missed that. Obviously, I made it. I do a lot of trades. But I'm not obviously in the raffle because I'm the one offering the free spot, the free payment. So can't pay for myself when I'm already fucking doing that, huh? So you made it in. Overall, Britt, you got a respectable team. 3-4. You could make the playoffs easily. So good showing first half for you. Get in there and make some trades for the trade deadline. You got a decent squad. 9th place, we got one of my favorite people, Tricky Nick, Saint Nick, whatever you want to call him, Dirty Birds. This guy started out, he's just gold. He's always chiming in with fucking jokes. Sometimes not funny, but he's still there. A lot of times they're gold. He loves causing havoc. He's got 60 waiver fucking pickups or something like that. Like who? I thought I was the waiver king. Nope. Tricky Nick, Saint Nick is the waiver king. He has a QB controversy going on in his team right now with B-May and the Hurts. I can see him flipping back and forth. He doesn't know who to start. He wants to trade one. He wants to get that high value quarterback trade like another team got. We'll get into that later. We're not ready to talk about that yet, but he saw what happened with that other guy that traded a quarterback. And not to run into this too much, but he asked me why I was carrying 3 quarterbacks at one point, and I wasn't doing it for long. We had a nice little talk, and now look at him. He's holding 3 quarterbacks because he wants to get something out of it. So I respect that. Overall, his starters are solid. Amari Cooper is been traded. He's awesome. AB's legit. Saquon's been one of the best running backs there is, no doubt about it. He's got some depth at a tight end with Laporta, and just traded for Otten, who had a game. I'm not sure if that's going to continue, but he had a game, and he's got Baker. So he also has Chubb loaded up in the chamber, which is nice. I love Chubb. He's on a shit team. But Olave, D-Hop, deep bench. He's probably trying to trade D-Hop to Damian. I'll take a run at D-Hop. I just don't know. I don't know what I got for him, to be honest. You got the best receiver in San Francisco right now too. Yeah, the one that was just fucking shot to pieces a few months ago. That you know there's problems when the best receiver on their team was just fucking shot up and made fucking Swiss cheese. That's the best receiver in Pearsall. I want to see what Ricky can do though. He's nice. He can run the ball. He can do all kinds of things. I think that guy's gonna be good. If he wasn't shot to fucking shit, he might actually do something really spectacular. But we'll see with him. Time will tell. What else we got going on here? So overall, I think the sneaky pickup of Tua, I think I like it. I had him, I dropped him, and you snagged him up quick with your 60 fucking pickups that you do. But I don't think this guy holds 3 QBs for long. St. Nick's in the raffle. He's got 10 trades. Solid chance to make the playoffs than anyone else. I'm telling you, this league, besides Frankie and I, this league is so fucking tight. And the points against and points for, averaged out, divided out, show that. Like, anybody can fucking beat anybody. That's just a fact. So, good job, Nick. Glad to have you in the league. 8th place, we got a former Flaunt and Taunt champion, Joey. And you're going to see pictures of everybody floating up in the corner here. Joe, look at the hair on Joey. Look at the fucking hair on this guy. He looks like Silvio from, not Goodfellas, Sopranos. Look at that. Look at that. Those locks. And that was a wig in the movie. This is real. That's real lettuce right there. Now, Joey, you're not going to get away without me mentioning the name of your team. I think it jinxed your ass. I mean, maybe not right now. With you have a decent record, 3-4, right? But there's no hope and joy for your future with that fucking name. I'm just going to tell you right now. You jinxed yourself. You can change it if you want. Leave it. I don't care. Down the stretch, I think with CMC coming back, little name change magic, you could. Who the fuck knows what could happen? Kelsey hasn't done shit yet. You never know what's going to happen with him. Diggs, London, Purdy, Scary Terry McScorrin, Zay, Brian Thomas Jr. You got a solid fucking crew there. I think you're wasting bench spots in Pierce and Allen. I don't know what that's all about. It's my opinion. What do I know? I'm in 11th place, but I think it's a waste of your bench spots. And also, if you don't trade, let me just say this once, because I'm going to say it for a couple of different people here. And I don't care if you fucking think it's wrong. You need to listen to it. No one wins without trading. You need to do some trades. There's 4 phases of the game. You draft, you waiver, you trade, and you start and sit. That's it. There's nothing else involved. Start and sit decisions, trade, waiver. We got the master of the waiver and Nick. We got the master of the draft and someone that I'll mention later. And we got the master of the trade. And right now, I think the master of the trade is actually someone else I'll mention later, but I'm not going to go talk about anybody until it's their turn. So 4 phases of the game. You can't win if you do 3, Joey. No hope, no joy. But I know you're stubborn. I know you're a stubborn guy. Let's see what the second half brings. If you have a different owner mindset, that'll be up to you. Time will tell. 7th place, we got my man Alec. This is the best picture I could find of Alec. Also, 0 trades for Alec. But decent roster, sitting there at 4-3. Love at quarterback. If he didn't get hurt, I think he'd even have a better record. His wide receivers are the weakest link, in my opinion, especially now with Evans out. But Higgins, D-Moore, Lockett, Tillman ain't going to cut it. Bijan also has been harassed by Algier, and I don't know if this is just like, you're just getting ready to set your lineup and you got them both in. That's a fucking cut your wrist situation or hang yourself. I don't know, either one. Maybe drink some fucking bleach. You make a trade, son. Just make a trade. You might sneak in. You got the second best kicker in the fucking world in Tucker. Other chips, you could put some chips together with him and get a legit wide receiver 1, then your team's more dangerous. So, we're all waiting for the call from you, Alex. So put down the fucking school books. I know you're in law school or whatever. Send some offers, kid. You can only get better, and you got a decent core. Now let's move to the contenders. I think the current contenders. In 6th place, we got Dellavedova. That's my son, Declan. I call him Dr. Salty. He got that nickname young. But this kid, also very stubborn. Least active guy in the league. Probably least active guy in the last 30 fucking years since I've been doing this. If he wasn't my son, I'd probably cut his ass from the league, to be honest. He doesn't answer texts. He doesn't trade. It's a clusterfuck. I do like his squad, though. Burrow, CD Cup, Kamara, H.A. Robinson. He's got a decent lineup. You know what I'm saying? When you saw that team, and he hasn't traded. I think, no, he's made no trades. Decent bench. You can't win if you don't trade. I already gave you the spiel. But what are you going to do? This is the life of a brand new firefighter. He's out chasing pussy and rescuing pussy from trees. Like, what are you going to do? Who could blame him for muting the chat, to be honest? He's busy. I have to mention some of his bench guys, though. Just cut Xavier Leggett. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. If he can't talk well, doesn't matter if I can. That guy, I think he's funny, but, dude, cut that motherfucker. You can't understand what he was saying anyway, and he shouldn't be on a roster. He should not be rostered. Your team is probably the biggest waste of a good team. And not trying to strengthen this team via trade, it's actually criminal. 0 trades. I love your core, but I have to bake you for this shit. It's crazy. 5th place. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. I shouldn't have put Declan in the contenders because he won't trade. So now we're in the contenders, actually. I'm going to take that fucking back. Now we're in the contenders. 5th place. It's my guy Jimmy, sitting at 4-3. I've known Jimmy a few years from baseball. More from afar, texting, whatever. He's in the baseball fantasy. Dude, he's won back-to-back. This guy is a thinker. He's really smart. He's got a really nice team, a decent mix of standing pat and then trading. He's got 4 trades. He made the raffle. He also works the waiver really nicely. Made one of the smartest moves by picking up JD and trading Josh Allen for Armand St. Brown. Amon Ra. Beautiful trade. This is what I was referencing that Nick would like to duplicate. And he's got 3 QBs, so he might be able to pull that off, especially if injuries keep piling up. So great running backs on Jimmy's teams. You got Gibbs and Hall. Also, this guy lost some significant pieces, and he's not missing a beat, really. He lost Rice. He God Chriswin, his fucking leg looked like it got amputated the other night in real time. Like it was fucking inverted. It didn't look right. It looked painful. And that's a killer. That guy was solid this year. Strong bench. Dude, get that turd Richardson off your fucking bench, though. That hurts my eyeballs. I drafted that motherfucker. He ruined my whole year. You have the best human and also kicker in the entire whole world in Buckner. I guarantee that's the best kicker. Probably maybe the best kicker ever, based on who he is as a human and how he's been doing. Yes, better than Vinatieri. Yes. Better than Gotkowski. Yes. I hate to say it, but it's true. I guarantee, I don't make many guarantees, but I guarantee Jimmy makes the playoffs. I guarantee it. I don't think I've guaranteed to anyone else. I said, you got a good shot, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee. So I'm not trying to put the KOD on you. I promise to God, I think you're going to make the playoffs with that team. 4 spot. Now, this guy, JJ, he's not, I don't even call JJ one of my best friends. I call him like my brother. We fucking fight like cats and dogs. He's like my brother. But he's obviously one of my best friends. His team is Super Tech Mobile. I think he changed it from something else. I forget what he had it. I don't remember. When he won the league, he was R.I.P. Wheeler, Rip Wheeler. But Super Tech Mobile, this guy could beat anyone. His team is loaded. Thanks, Kurt, for giving him Jefferson in the first fucking trade of the year. And actually, I put that through the calculator. I know you guys hate the calculator, but that trade calculator it keeps it honest, so nobody can make little side deals that aren't fair. I've only denied one trade, and it was to me from Kurt. I said, no, Kurt, this doesn't match up in the calculator. Can't do it. Denied. And I think I might have sent it to him, and then he accepted, and I said, wait a second, you can't accept that. So I will deny. I haven't denied any trades this year, but if it's ridiculous and it looks like colluding, I got to do it. I use the calculator. So the reason I'm mentioning this is that Jefferson trade was legit. JJ didn't get over. It just felt like it because it's fucking Jefferson. And he already had his first round pick, so his team is loaded, and it looked even more loaded on that first day before we saw it play out. He also got my first rounder eventually from multiple movements of this Garrett Wilson, which I think he's going to benefit from Adams being there. So he's loaded, dude. I also gave him Mike Hunt. Like, if you have Mike Hunt on your team, on a Chiefs team that is fucking world beaters, got Josh Jacobs, Fergie. I traded him Fergie. Holy shit, I loaded him up. Hubbard, who else? Those are your starters. I think your bench is iffy. I don't think it matters. You're a lock for the playoffs. The buys are starting to happen. Mark it down. One thing I did notice when I was going over teams today, you got 2 kickers and 2 defenses. That threw me for a fucking loop for a bit, but obviously you're 10 steps ahead of everybody usually, so I get it. I won't question it. It's ugly looking at. Looking at that, I'm like ready to throw up. But overall, this is the thing about JJ. He never loses a trade. He won't. It's not his nature. And he knows that's why I hit reject so often on him. I hit reject. I don't fucking counter because it's hard to trade with him. I try to get over on people. He does too. So together it's like fucking bang. That's how you're supposed to play. I respect it. Tip of the cap. Anyway, that one's in the books. I think he'll make the playoffs. I'm sure of it. Watch out for this team in the end. Third place, another one, lifelong friend. I've known him for a long time now. I don't even know how long. Is it 20 years? DDR, Damien. Look at this kid. He looks exactly like the fucking, the guy that harassed Fauci. He looks exactly like him. I'm going to put them both up here. So here's the guy that harassed Fauci, and here's Damien. Fucking twins or what? Anyway, kind of a celebrity just because of that. Now, said all that, one of my best friends, guy's in third place. It might be the biggest fucking smoke and mirror show in the history of third place in the Flaunt and Taunt. 5-2, I think he might miss the dance. I'm saying it right now. His team is a fucking shit sandwich. Extra fucking spicy mustard on it. Injuries hurt my guy. I'm sorry. And you got Stevenson. He's a Pat. Pats are a fucking mess. They replaced the best coach ever with a guy who's never coached before. I mean, that's just fucking Robert Kraft. Because I do think Stevenson is good. I've been trying to trade for him, but mostly because I want a Patriot on my team. Insta bust, basically, if you have him on your team. I mean, look at your roster. You know you're in trouble. But Waddle, gonna fire up Tua. CJ Stroud is your quarterback. I loved him. He was awesome if this was last year, we'd be talking a different story. But he's a shell of last season. Also lost his best target. We all know about that. Injuries have been fucking brutal this year, guys. Chase has been nice, but I think what you need to do, Damien, is move that guy in order to get some depth. You can trade him, not to JJ, please. Someone that needs him. He doesn't need another fucking killer receiver, but trade him and get some value, get some depth. You have no depth. I hate to say this, but one other guy before I trash you. I don't want to trash your team too much. Actually, let me back up. You picked up Hawkinson, or what's his name? The tight end there, Hawk Tua. You know what I'm talking about. I think that's a good pickup. I really do. Bateman also solid pickup. But bro, you're sitting at 2 trades. I mean that is like that's the equivalent of you ripping up a fucking Ross coupon. Like, what are you doing? Make the third trade. Trade a bench guy. I mean, you got an ugly bench anyway. You don't have to trade Chase to get that third trade, you know. And this video is coming out tonight, so or I got to do some editing and add pictures and shit, but it's coming out. So unless there's a trade right now that I don't know about, maybe you'll sneak one in before the video airs, and I'll let you in. Because I'm gonna do a separate video where I pull out of a hat of the people that make it, that make the raffle. Let's see, and you know who you are if you have 3 or more trades. I can give you. I think I sent the list to the chat today. And if you muted the chat, that's on you. I don't give a fuck. And I don't blame you if you mute the chat either. By the way, I don't blame you. But if you don't find out about shit, that's on you. What else? That's it. I think you got to move Chase. I think you know, my prediction is you're not making the playoffs though, bud. I'm sorry. You'll be just like me. You won't be in last place though. There you go. That's a battle between me and Frankie, I do believe. And now we gotta talk about the top 2. 2 of the most controversial figures in this league. I'm gonna start with the 5-2 record. His real name is Kurt. He goes by Pinky, Big Daddy K, Deathbringer. I think he's been called Pinky a jillion times, so let's just go with that. Look at this guy. look at this guy. Don't know what to tell you. I think when I first shared everybody's phone numbers, I sent a different picture of Kurt to make him look mean. This doesn't make him look mean. Anyway, enough of that. But 16 trades. That's eye-popping. 16 trades. I don't think he has any players on his team that he drafted. I'd have to double check that. It's unusual for sure, though. I've made a lot of trades too, but most of the guys I have on my team I drafted. So I tried to get them back probably because I was having some seller's remorse. I think, Kurt, what you have to do, you don't have to listen to any of this advice, but you need to make a move for a QB because Kyler's been shit, and I think you picked up or you traded for some Darnold or something. Darnold gave me 2 points one week. Be careful of that. So do what you want. I don't give a shit. You're 5-2. You can kind of take some risks. You got a solid bench. You got solid starters. Cook, Slim Reaper, Mixon, Andrews, Pacheco comes back. I've heard Pacheco's not coming back, but then somehow they're projecting him to get points this year. So Damien watches every move of that team. He said he's not coming back. So who the fuck really? Nobody knows. Thing I'll say about Kurt, it's worth mentioning, is every time he trades someone or someone doesn't accept his trade, it always seems to work out for this guy. I don't know, and this year was kind of a test because last year was his first year in Flaunt, and everything he did turned to fucking gold. I'd trade him someone, that guy would do great, was doing shit, and then the guy he gave me would get hurt. Or he didn't accept the trade that I offered, and he was about to, but then he didn't accept it, and then the guy gets hurt, and then I can't trade him. It's just, I can't explain it. It's like it's wizardry. Anyway, there's no one that responds faster to chats than Kurt. Guy's a character. I know, a little crazy at times, but the league definitely, you make it fun, make it hilarious, actually. A little bit annoying at times, but that's you. I love it. Good shit. And now, the other controversial figure in the league. Let's just focus on the team first. Miley. Miles is your name. Miley. I've been called you Miley on accident. I apologize for that, but now everyone calls you that. Team's loaded. Easily the most controversial owner in the history of Flaunt and Taunt, for sure. I mean, you got a league of white dudes, and you're dropping the N-bomb. That was like, what? that was a little crazy. But, and then you call us all clan members, which was also a little wild. I know you're just joking, busting balls. I get it, but that was the end bomb was a little out of hand. What else? I think you had you had the best draft. I mean, you won the draft. Nobody knows what was going to happen with Neighbors. I have him in 2 other leagues. That's your league winner right there. If he gets back to himself, he got the shit knocked out of him. Hasn't really got back to that first neighbors, but I mean, you're like the evil villain with this roster. Everyone's rooting against you, I think, and I think you're feeling that. We're just fucking with you, really. But Reed's electric. You got Henry, Monty, Pollard, Debo. You took Mahomes at 1, you still have a fucking good team. It's kind of fucking crazy. We all thought you were cooked when you took Mahomes at 1. Let's be honest. Everyone laughed. And I didn't ask everyone. I'm just saying, when I was sitting there, I said, taking Mahomes? This guy don't know ball. See that reference? You don't know ball? If you don't get that, he said he knows ball to everybody. I think we all know ball based on the points. We all know ball. Anyway, N-bombs, whatever it is, then we had a draft planned and you backed out in the 11th hour. Dude, what are you doing? That's fucking crazy. That's more crazy than the N-bomb, actually. That is wild. I know you said sorry, but you didn't really give an explanation. You didn't. I don't know, man. That one stung. You pissed some people off with that. I'll just be honest. Listen, you're going to make the playoffs. No one's questioning that. But no trades, you ain't winning. I'm telling you right now. Mark it down. You ain't winning at all. You better fucking trade. You better do something. You can't just do 3 phases of the game. And I'm not rooting against you either. I'm telling it like it is. I just said I would kick my own son out of this league. So don't take anything personal. Can't win with no trade. Oh, prove me wrong. Don't trade. See what happens. I think it'll be like last week. But that's why we play the games, man. That's why we play the games. Anyway, there's your recap of halfway through the season. Incredible. Just the amount of work people put into like that chat and making people laugh. Just it's a lot. It's actually a lot. I got to turn it off sometimes because I'm working, but it's definitely entertaining. I think in the first week there were more texts in that chat than my other 2 leagues combined to this date. So is what it is. But awesome league, guys. Appreciate you guys, and catch you in the funny papers.